my name's Catherine. I'm a third year illustration student and this is my authorship sketchbook and the second submission to the Sketchbook prize. So this project was a lot longer than my Unit X project, so I had a lot more time to really research what I was illustrating. So I started with a mind map. Again, went to Manchester Art Gallery for initial sketches and started with a documentary. My project was based on Marianne North, who was an explorer and artist. She went to all over the world and painted over 800 species of flora and fauna. I also read her biography during this project, so a lot of the illustrations, definitely the first part of my sketchbook, are responses to what she writes in the text. So I started with America, Canada. I looked at the environments that she was in, the characters that she met, and how I could depict that in a children's book. Moved on to Brazil. Tenerife, Borneo, Java, and I eventually stopped at India because I had enough by then. So that was a lot to work with, and then I had to figure out where to go from there. So I started looking at where Marianne was from, Hastings, thinking that was a good place to start the narrative, and then the actual character of Marianne, which was actually inspired by one of the drawings I did at Manchester Art Gallery. And then my initial storyboard. This was working out the order of things, a more detailed one, still figuring out which order to tell the story. And then I went to London for the weekend, so these are just sketches from the day. Quentin Blake exhibition I went to at the House of Illustration. And then Kew Gardens, of course, this is Marianne's gallery at Kew. And these were all done while I was in the gallery, which was a lovely experience, seeing all her work in one place. It was quite overwhelming actually. And obviously at Kew there's thousands of different types of leaves, so I don't think I had enough time to capture all of them, but I had fun and it was a great day out. Back in the studio, I spent a day in the library looking at costume books, historical and cultural patterns, which is one of my favourite things to do, looking at pattern and historical costume. So I was trying to figure out a way to incorporate that into my book. And then back to the narrative. Might not be much to look at this part, but this is where my project kind of changed direction a bit. Another storyboard. It's quite faint, sorry, it's in pencil. And then I was figuring out specifics for each scene, so what would be showing each page. And this was a vital part of the process, because the root of this book was to educate children on native plants and wildlife found around the world, but from the viewpoint of this extraordinary woman. So I followed the narrative chronologically from America to Brazil and to Borneo. There's some great names of these shells. My favourite is Humphrey's Wemple Trap. It's my favourite. More characters, animals, costume. I ended the book with a modern day Marianne, so that was me trying to work out how a costume can change, but also for a child to recognise that it's the same character. More animals. Again, like my Unit X project, I worked a lot on sheets as well. So this is just this initial sketching before I did all my colour experiments on sheets that I'll add at the end of this video. And then this was, I was in a cafe and I was just drawing people, observing people, how they walk, how they stand. More sketches, how things may look. I like to separate each individual plant and animal and species so I know exactly what they're going to look like when I put them all together. And then this was just a quick end paper, like a can you find with all the different images, and it was laid out like her gallery at Kew. A little bit of text. By now I'd moved on to a bigger A3 sketchbook. And that's the end of book 1. And I'll add examples of my sheets at the end to show some of my bigger sketchbook work. And thank you for watching.